Mm. All right. Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner Classic Lesson Known Classics. This is episode number 28, 76, double number 27, 70. We have basically two series getting officially wrapped up here. First of which is New Warriors, and the other is All Star Squadron. New Warriors, we have the last trade discussed for New Warriors Volume 4, Thrashed, which collect issues 7 to 13 of New Warriors Volume 4. Also, by the way, in this book, apparently the LS remembered the fact, hey, Tony Stark doesn't wear the shield jumpsuit. Because by the end of this, he's back to wearing a regular suit and tie. Because I guess, this is my personal guess, someone must have contacted the artist and remembered, wait, Tony doesn't wear the shield jumpsuit. Why is he wearing the shield jumpsuit? And they fixed that here. Also, for some reason, issues 7 to 13 are still pod the initiative banner. First of which we have two-part called Reunion, written by Kevin Gorst, who's still the writer. He pretty much writes this whole book, and John Millen the artwork. Most of the party of Night Thrasher basically still dealing with, well, him and his team basically are a little more fluid per se. Wandra, aka formerly Jubilee, she does not really put on a costume very much. Of course, they have the Junior Guardsmen, which is these young heroes associated with S.H.I.E.L.D. Miss Marvel is here for some reason. Of course, it's Carol Danvers. And for some reason, the artist basically draws her where she's kind of like leaning against Tony in a very like... The best way to describe this panel, it's kind of like the way she's doing it. It's almost like they're in a romantic relationship, even though they're not. It's just the artist thinks they are, but not really. It's a brief moment. And I think this is Cloud 9, I believe this is. Actually, no, it's... I think it's Ultra Girl, I think it is. And for some reason, the artist made her breasts freaking huge. Yes, seriously. Her breasts are so big. For no reason. Then we see Syl, the former Ricochet from the original books. Yeah, she's back here, and she knows the fact that it's actually the bandit. And then, of course, he runs into an old acquaintance of his. Yeah, this is Aaron. Who is this guy? This is Midnight Fire. Oh, her name is Silhouette. Midnight Fire. Weird thing about this guy is that it was kind of revealed. By the way, his daughter is Julia Cord, who pops up years in the Marvel book. Yeah, Silhouette, basically, yeah, she's back in the book too. Aaron Cord, prior to popping up in this book, last time he appeared was back in Night Thrash issue 14. Yeah, that was last time he was ever seen in comics. And he's here in this story arc, pops up one more issue, and then he pops up in the Iron book, which I think they were theorizing that he may be Riri's father. We also see Tito Bushok. Who is that? That's one of Beak's kids. One of his many kids that he had with Angel. Yeah, and for some reason she was a bit chunky when she showed up. And my guess is her being part of the Xavier Institute actually had her drop a lot of weight. Yeah, and Tempest actually is Angel. Yeah, and after basically have a reunion with, and then pretty much we begin the Thrash story arc with issue number 9. It continues with issue number, ends issue 13, and they fight this group called the Alpha Clan. Not Shield, the Alpha Clan. Yeah, they're a group of people who only exist in this very book. Yeah, they're a Superman group who appears in this one book, and then they're never seen again. Yep. And of course, the debut new character, Aja. Don't know who this guy is. He just joined this group, and then he leaves. He's only here for this book and never seen again. Yep. And of course, it's Fence finding holograms. It's kind of like this is like a training arc for new warriors. And then in issue 11, they basically about Machine Smith. For the next like 2 issues. And then the finale for this story arc, they deal with him. Yeah. There's not much else that goes on here per se. Ooh, what a beautiful woman. Yep. Yeah, and that's pretty much in a way like the book itself. So that's pretty much New Warriors Volume 4 in a nutshell. It's a good book. It's a book that's not really talked about very much. Not at all. It's not a terrible book per se. It's just that it's not well remembered by a lot of people. This book came out while I was reading comic. It was the first of only 2 volumes. Now, yes, there was New Warriors Volume. I didn't know about that one. I didn't know about Volume 3 until well after the miniseries came out. I knew about this book. This one I did. Yeah, I knew about this book when it came out, so I knew all about it. It's a shame that the writer basically wrote this. He did a good job. It's a shame he only did like 1 series after this. And then like a few things here and there, and that was it. You're like, as good as this book is, why didn't Marvel get more work? Good question. It's like the only contribution he did for Marvel Comics, aside from this ongoing series, which is the only ongoing series he ever did for Marvel. The next time he did anything was the Blue Mara book. And that was it. Yeah. What happened to Warriors? That was Secret Invasion. Go no time to prevent Night Thrashed death. And then team disbands. But what happened to the members afterwards? Well, first of which, Beverly Stux, who's a recurring character in this book, she popped up in issues Thunderbolts, Volume 3 by Jim Zebb, and it was never seen again. Harry Gibbons. He, of course, well, by issue 16, he was dropped from the book. Yeah, it's like after issue 13, he pops up once again for issue 16 as part of a tie-in for, like, they do apparently kill off Ripcord, but she, like, comes back in vengeance. It's like 16 is like a turning point for the book. Skybolt, um, yeah, formerly of this gang, he gets killed and was never seen again. Yeah. But what about the original Night Thrasher? Well, the second one anyways. Yeah, when the team disbanded, he ended up joining Counterforce, who became New Warriors. Yep, that's what he did. He basically joined up with Avengers Initiative, was part of that group into a group disbandment, and popped up in issue Nova, Volume 5 as a flashback for New Warriors. Then he popped up in Rise of the Powers of X. And that was pretty much it for him. Beak, meanwhile, though, he did get his powers back. Oh, he did. So, after this book ended, by the way, he had previously appeared in Exile as part of this. Yeah, he did. After this book ended, he popped up Vengeance, and then a couple issues of X and Blue. Then he kind of moved over to New Warriors for a bit. Popped issue of X-Force, The Excellent, X-Men Forever, Rise Parks. He didn't do very much after this book wrapped up. Yes, now, in case you're curious though, is Beak a Grant Morrison character? The answer is yes. Yes, he is. He is a Grant Morrison character. Well, Jubilee herself got her powers back. Well, I mean, she was probably one of the few people aside from the original second Night Thrasher who actually was appearing in Marvel Comics for a long time. Not like, because it seemed like basically that the writer of the book just brought people more. Now, after this book ended, she popped up in Nation X, and then she became part of X-Men Volume 3. Yeah, she became a vampire. And was a vampire. Popped up in Wolverine, had 2 miniseries with Wolverine also. Was a fairly recurring character in X-Men Volume 3. She was in the book for quite some time. Even when it became a team book, she was like still in the book. Even the book when it was relaunched as Volume 4, she's part of book 2. She's part of that group until like the series ended. Yeah, that's why I appeared in her books. That was basically her primary book she appeared in. And then popped up a few other books. Then became a regular supporting character in Pat's arc, aka Hellcat, for the rest of that book. Power Generation X Volume 2. The book with great writing, but terrible artwork. Popped up in a few miniseries. Popped up in the Resurrection Jean Grey miniseries. A few miniseries here and there. Kenny X-Men Volume 5. Some Age of X-Men stuff. Excalibur. She was part of that group for a while. With her son Shogo. And after that series ended, she was moved to X-Terminator. Well, she was part of Knights of X very briefly, and then part of the X-Terminators book. And probably on some Unforgiven stuff. A bunch of guest stars. Dead X-Men stuff. Yeah, she didn't do very much, Raft. Like, she read in a few comics, yes, but not a lot of them per se. Her most recent appearance actually was in Wolverine Manticore Knights. Decibel. Yeah, he got his powers back. He's basically back being... he basically returned to the X-Men right after his powers got back. Yeah, thanks to Legion. Also, for some reason, he briefly... It seemed like the writer of Generation X Volume 2 It seemed like he was starting a relationship with Jubilee, which that came completely out of nowhere. Well, so basically, he popped up X-Men Legacy, where he started the book. He part of the book's relaunch. Then Return of Next, Volume 2, part of like one miniseries, part of King X-Men Volume 5, joined Mutants Volume 4, very briefly, and then he joined our Legion of X. Did some stuff. Phaser. Broly Red of the Omega Gang. Another Grant Morrison character. What did she do? She did nothing. She disappeared since the book wrapped up. Alright. Tempest, she's still occasionally reading comics with her husband. Renaissance. Sophia. What did she do? Here's kind of a really weird thing with her. Like, after this book ended, she guest starred on X Factor briefly, and then she joined X Corps. So, like, after this book ended, by the way, that was back in 2009, I think it was. Let's see, I think it was 09, wasn't it? Yeah, 2009. Her next appearance is not for 11 years. Yeah, but great book overall. And I have to end it right here because dinner is ready. When I get back, I will talk about the mini issues of All-Star Squadrons. Okay? Next video. Bye.